Have you ever sat across from someone you were deeply drawn to and felt that tightening in your chest, that restless search for the perfect thing to say? The moment feels charged, yet instead of being present, your mind races. You worry about making the flawless move, as if intimacy were a puzzle you have to solve before the clock runs out. From childhood, culture has whispered that you need the clever line, the grand romantic act, the perfectly timed performance. It has turned something simple and deeply human into a contest you are afraid of losing. But pause for a moment and consider. What if the pressure itself is the illusion? What if the endless chase for the right technique is the very thing that keeps you from what you want? Intimacy is not granted through begging or bargaining, and it cannot be forced with tricks. The instant you frame it as a question of permission or strategy, you step out of your own grounded presence. You place yourself in the role of someone seeking approval, instead of embodying the natural confidence that draws others in. Today is not about memorizing clever lines. It is about stripping away the broken script that has shaped your interactions and replacing it with something timeless. The foundation is not performance. It is presence, drawn from the enduring principles of Stoic clarity and psychological strength. The moment you embody this, connection begins to arise naturally, not through pleading but through the quiet authority of your own being. Think about the moments after what felt like a perfect evening. The laughter was effortless, the conversation unforced. Yet once apart, your mind replays everything in a loop. You draft a message, delete it, rewrite it again, caught between wanting to seem interested but not too eager. Every second without a reply feels like a verdict on who you are. This restless energy is not subtle. It radiates need. It signals that your emotional center is not in your own hands, but dependent on someone else's response. And nothing erodes attraction faster than the sense that you are unstable in yourself, that your inner state needs to be managed by another. This struggle is not truly about her, it is about you. It is the conflict between your fear and your composure. Seneca once observed that the surest cure for anger is to pause. In the same way, the cure for neediness is to return fully to the present. The urge to demand clarity, to lock things down, is not strength. It is fear disguised as urgency. It reveals that you doubt your own ability to remain compelling without constant reassurance. Your task is not to win approval, but to cultivate such a deep respect for yourself that any external validation becomes a gift, not a lifeline. That is where the transformation begins. The very idea of asking for intimacy rests on a false foundation. It assumes scarcity, as if connection were a rare resource you must request from someone holding all the power. When you ask, you place yourself in a position of lower status, signaling that you seek permission rather than sharing something mutual. Imagine a master chef unveiling his signature dish. If he nervously asks, "Do you think you will like this?" his doubt taints the experience before it begins. A true master presents his work with calm assurance, trusting the quality to speak on its own. Appreciation then flows naturally, not because he begged for it, but because excellence makes it inevitable. This is why the so-called nice guy who does everything correctly on paper and then expects affection in return so often faces disappointment. He treats connection like a transaction, tallying up good behavior and waiting for a reward. What he misses is that attraction does not arise from calculation, it arises from resonance. Epictetus taught that events themselves do not disturb us. It is our interpretations that unsettle us. Believing you must ask for intimacy is exactly such a distortion. It undermines your peace, and by doing so, it undercuts your presence. You are not someone waiting outside the gates of her approval. You are meant to be the builder of a life so centered and compelling that she feels drawn toward it without hesitation. The transformation comes not from memorizing different lines, but from reshaping how you see yourself. The true shift of power begins the moment you stop asking for permission and start embodying the quiet certainty of someone who knows his worth. Here is the deeper psychological truth, the so-called secret. Intimacy is not the ultimate prize to be won. It is the natural result of a bond that is authentic and alive. It is not the target of the journey, it is the evidence that the journey is being walked well. Picture yourself on a mountain trail. The summit is not something you demand from the peak. It is where you naturally arrive if you have placed each step with care, breathed in the air, and shared the path fully. Obsessing over the summit distracts you and causes missteps. Focusing on the path itself ensures the summit reveals itself at the right time. This realization changes everything. The goal is not to secure a specific outcome, but to live fully in the present process of connection. When you shift your attention from trying to earn intimacy to simply building an experience that is real, engaging, and guided by steady masculine presence, the entire dynamic transforms. Presence means you listen with the intention to understand, not to exploit a pause in order to push the interaction forward. It means you share your perspective as an invitation, not as a performance. It means you lead with calm steadiness that does not depend on her reaction. In this space, she no longer feels like a prize you are chasing or a checkpoint you are trying to reach. Instead, she experiences the shared moment as something safe, magnetic, and deeply compelling. The tension of pressure dissolves, replaced by a natural attraction that feels effortless. This is the essence of leading the energy of the interaction. You are not asking for intimacy. You are cultivating the environment in which intimacy flows as the most natural conclusion possible. Understanding alone achieves nothing. The philosophy must be lived, forged into action. This requires discipline on 3 levels. First, master your internal state. This is the heart of Stoicism. Before your next conversation or date, remind yourself that your value is inherent and not determined by her response. Your aim is to express your true self and cultivate genuine connection. Her reaction exists outside your control. Like the Stoic archer, focus on your form and let the result follow naturally. Detach your sense of worth from external outcomes. Second, build the bridge of connection. Stop seeing conversation as a tool to reach a goal. The conversation itself is the experience. Ask questions that spark real curiosity. Share your thoughts and stories honestly, not filtered to fit what you imagine she wants. Create shared moments, inside jokes, and light challenges. When the interaction is vibrant and meaningful on its own, the need for a particular outcome fades, and intimacy becomes far more likely because it arises naturally from the energy you create together. Finally, shape the environment intentionally. Leading with presence means preparing the setting so connection can flourish. This is not manipulation, but thoughtful consideration. Choose spaces that are comfortable and conducive to conversation. Keep your own surroundings orderly and calm, reflecting the composure you carry within. A well-prepared environment communicates without words that you are mindful, confident, and respectful of the shared experience. By arranging the conditions thoughtfully, you remove distractions and allow the connection to deepen. Leadership in connection is expressed through presence, actions, and care, not through requests or overt persuasion. The transformation from the man who asks to the man who naturally invites begins within. It is the journey of releasing the need for external validation and discovering an unshakable center of self-respect. Real power is not found in clever words directed at her, but in the words you speak to yourself. When you cultivate an inner life that is strong, vibrant, and secure, a woman is drawn to participate, not because you have requested it, but because your presence itself extends the invitation. Your character provides the safety, your authenticity creates the attraction. Forget rehearsed lines and tricks. Focus on becoming a man of substance, grounded in his own purpose and reality. Nurture that calm, stoic fire within you. Be a man who does not need her approval, yet genuinely wishes to share his world. That is the energy that naturally draws others in. It is the energy of someone whole on his own, someone whose life is compelling without dependency. You are the architect of your experience and the master of your emotional state. Step into that power and create a reality that is worthy of being shared. If this message speaks to the man you are becoming, join our community. Surround yourself with others committed to strength, presence, and truth. Stop asking, start becoming.